from Yorkshire. And the man they'll all have to beat from Iceland, Jón Páll Sigmarsson, the world's strongest man. The contest to find the world's strongest man takes place this year in Hungary, and it starts in its jewel of a capital, the city they call the Paris of the East, Budapest. Budapest is a city divided in two, historic Buda on this side of the river and Pest on the other, which is the commercial and industrial heart of the city. They're divided by Europe's second biggest river, the Danube. And they were linked for the first time by the chain bridge down there behind me, which is almost exactly the same design as the bridge over the River Thames at Marlow, and was designed by the same engineer, Tierney Clark. Budapest is surprisingly westernized and prosperous. Its architecture ranges from Central European traditional to modern concrete, and you can buy most things easily, from tourist gifts to Western hamburgers. Music is important here, and the buskers range from Hungarian trad to Western trad. Musical appreciation starts young here. Getting around Budapest is easy. There's a fast and cheap tram service and an efficient underground system, both of which are very useful for visiting some of the city's tourist attractions, like the huge ceremonial Heroes Square, the fairy tale Vajahunian Castle, and the magnificent 19th century opera house. In Buda, from the pinnacled Fisherman's Bastion, you can see the rebuilt Parliament buildings across the Danube, and it's close to the Fisherman's Bastion that we start day one of the competition. For the first event, we've come to the rebuilt Royal Palace on top of Castle Hill. It's the loading race. All the competitors have got to do is pick up 6 objects, carry them, and put them on the lorry. Simple in principle until you discover that the weight of each of these objects is 90 kilograms, 200 pounds. That's 4.5 times the maximum baggage allowance on airlines. This milk churn, for example, is filled with lead, sand, and water. And if I'm very careful, I can just get it off the ground. That's the easy one. This is the difficult one because there is absolutely nothing to grip it by except a little tiny handhold there. 6 objects. This is an event in which the competitors are really going to hit the pain barrier good and proper. Eugene of Savoia freed Hungary from the Turks in the 17th century. There's no escape from the task in hand for our strong men. I wondered how much the reigning champion looked forward to this test of strength. What is this truck loading like?
This is the heaviest truck loading we've ever had. And for a long course, 10 meters, so it will be very tough.
How do you cope with the pain?
I smile.
Is that the answer to pain? Just smile.
It is.
For Britain, Jamie Reeves has taken over from the legendary Jeff Capes, and I wondered how he felt about following in the wake of the great man.
Well, it's a very big challenge, stepping into a champion's shoes like Jeff. Hopefully, I've peaked just right, I'm in good condition, so I'm hoping to do very well today.
Where are your strengths and weaknesses?
My strengths will probably be in the overhead press, in the forward hold and static moves, but I've practiced very hard at running and cardiovascular work, so I'm hoping to have a good overall challenge.
So the scene is set for the truck loading, the first of 8 events, and it's 44-year-old professional strongman Ilkka Numisto from Finland against the 22-stone mite of Frenchman Jean-Pierre Broulois.
On your marks and get set!
Referee David Webster sets them off, and Ilkka has elected that bulky oil drum, and Jean-Pierre the sack. The experts tell me it's better to load the awkward objects first while you're still fresh. And Numisto is remarkably swift on his feet. Broulois delivering the milk, and he's also carrying 22 stone of his own weight, remember. And Numisto is wisely going for the plastic drum, the most difficult object of all, but he's had the foresight to turn the drum over and grip it by the lid. Broulois opting for the crate. And this is very fast by the Finn. He makes it look easy. Broulois, by contrast, is already looking tired. And this is an excellent performance. Remember, these objects weigh 90 kilos each. That's 16 stone. And by the time they finish, they'll have carried 540 kilos, no less than 85 stone. Last object for Ilkka. And he's there. 1 minute 9 seconds. And he's also set a good time for the others to beat. And he gets a deserved pat on the back from his trainer. And now the majestic 22.5 stone American Bill Kazmaier, 3 times former title holder, against the 18.5 stone local lad, Laszlo Fekete, competing for the first time in this competition.
Timekeeper's ready. On your marks and get set.
Off they go, and Kazmaier's experience is telling already, electing for the awesome plastic drum. But Fekete's very fast on his feet. He's going for speed. He's got the crate, but Kazmaier's got the second most difficult object to carry, the oil drum. But Fekete's really moving now. He's gambling on his speed. There's the churn, but should he have gone for the more difficult objects first while he was fresh? Well, here he goes with the oil drum. He's there. If he keeps this up and beats Kazmaier, it'll be a sensation. Fekete with the basket. It doesn't look heavy, but remember, it's 90 kilos. That's 14 stone. Bill Kazmaier with the crate, and each with 1 to go, but Fekete's tackling the most difficult object last. Can he hold on to it? No, and the former champion delivers the milk churn in 1 minute, 3 seconds, 2 seconds slower than Ilka. Now Fekete struggling with that drum. Can he hold on? Yes. Amazingly, Laszlo hardly seems out of breath, but that's in contrast to Bill Kazmaier, who has to gulp down lungfuls of oxygen. And now top Australian shot putter Joe Quigley, another newcomer to all this, and he's competing against the very experienced Ab Wolders, the powerlifter from Holland, who was 3rd in this contest 2 years ago.
On your marks and get set.
Come on, Joe, fast asleep. Ab roars into action with the basket. Joe with the plastic drum. Ouch, almost dislocating his kneecap. And Joe's lost the oil drum. He's burning precious energy trying to lift it up again. And Wolders now comes alongside him. They're both on together, but now Joe Quigley is 1 object behind. Ab opts for the crate, Joe for the basket. Now Wolders with the sack, and he's only got 1 object left. The crowd is shouting Ab on. There's a lot of support for him from the Dutch visitors here in Hungary. And he's shouting himself home now, and this is going to be the fastest yet. The time, 55 seconds. But that effort has sacked Wolders. And now Joe with his last object. Ouch! I don't want to be a milkman anyway. Now, a photo opportunity for fitness fans. Britain's Jamie Reeves takes the stage alongside the reigning champion Jón Páll Sigmarsson from Iceland.
On your marks and get set.
Well, Jamie's obviously heeded his good advice. He started with the oil drum. Sigmarsson's explosively fast. He's probably the greatest all-round athlete in this competition. And that's the danger object loaded for Sigmarsson. And for Jamie. Sigmarsson going with that drum. And he's there. Jamie throwing the crate as though it were a mere parcel. Jamie Reeves coming back with the basket. He's got 2 to go. Jón Páll with the churn. He's only got 1 to go. Jamie with the churn.
On, Jamie.
And it's there. Sigmarsson with his last one. And that's the fastest time of all. Well, he's mildly pleased with that as Jamie finally delivers the sack, and that's a good effort from the blacksmith's welder who works in a Sheffield coal mine. So, experience telling already as Jón Páll opens his account with 8 points. Dutchman Ab Wolders is 2nd, and Ilkka Numisto from Finland 3rd. Jamie Reeves is lying in 5th place.
Hungary's most famous wine is called bull's blood, and it's no effort lifting a bottle of it, but how about a barrel? The deadlift involves lifting this traditional Hungarian farm cart, plus a barrel of wine, plus plus some bags of sand. The total weight at the lifting end is 280 kilograms. That's equivalent to 14 of our airline suitcases. And as the competition proceeds, so more bags of sand will be added. I've got a feeling I'm going to need a couple of glasses of bull's blood just watching this.
But for teetotaler Jón Páll Sigmarsson, a bowl of spaghetti. Pasta quickly replaces lost energy. And all the aches and pains that Ilka sustained in the truck loading are being soothed and eased away by his wife, Ritva. Well, we've moved further along the imposing royal castle for the deadlift, as we join it with Jamie Reeves attempting 460 kilos. That's just over 1,000 pounds.
Yes, come on, easy.
He must lock out those knees.
Down!
Yes, success for Jamie on his fourth lift, and he's looking confident.
This is Jón Páll Sigmarsson's fourth attempt. The next lifter will be Wolders.
Jón Páll at the same weight, 400 kilos, and with his fourth lift.
Prepare to lift in your own time. Lift.
That's Halti, Jón Páll's coach, yelling encouragement, but in vain at the moment. He's got to get it moving. Yes, he's done it. Yes, he says. He's quite a showman, this man.
Good lift.
The competitors are allowed a total of 6 lifts, and they can choose their weights, which rise in increments of 10 kilos. Belting up for action, Wolders.
The weight is 460 kilos.
He's psyching himself up. Ab really has to hate the objects he's fighting.
Prepare to lift in your own time. Lift.
That's Tommy, his trainer, urging him on. He must get this to remain in the event. Nope, 460 kilos proves too much for the Dutchman, and he retires. Now with the chalk, Ilka Numisto, former Finnish champion powerlifter.
Prepare to lift in your own time. Lift.
And Ilka should have no trouble at all with this. It's there, and he looks very pleased with that.
Good lift.
And a little jig for good measure. He's making a lot of friends here. And now Sigmarsson with the weight at 470 kilos.
Dead or alive? Go!
And the shouting is not just for the crowd, it's for Viking muscles too.
Prepare to lift in your own time. Lift.
And he could be in trouble here. He's giving it everything, but it's not moving. That's it, and Jón Páll, very surprisingly, goes out. But Jón Páll knows 6 other events lie ahead, and he mustn't risk injury at this stage. He must conserve his energy. Joe Quigley, the Australian, also failed at the same weight, so now only 3 remain.
Bill Kazmaier comes in at 480 for his second attempt.
And this is Bill Kazmaier with, incredibly, only his second lift. He's so confident in this event, he's not wasted any strength with too many prior lifts.
Prepare to lift in your own time. Lift.
Oh, it's done. And Kaz is looking very comfortable. The American really favors this kind of static, pure strength event. Ilka Numisto was also successful at the same weight. And once again, it's the turn of Jamie Reeves, lifting 480 kilos, 1,058 pounds.
Come on, Jamie, go for it!
It's his wife, Debbie, urging him on. It's there.
To be alive! If you can't do that!
And Jamie tried to compete with Jón Páll on the speech making, but 480 kilos was his last successful lift. With his sixth and final attempt, he failed to lift 500 kilos, a fate which also befell Finland's Ilkka Numisto. And we join the event again with Bill Kazmaier.
Third attempt for Bill Kazmaier, 510 kilos on the cart.
510 kilos, 1,124 pounds. Remember, this is only his third lift, and he's lifting more than half a ton.
Prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Yes!
Yes, he's got it. This is strength, he shouts, and no one's going to argue with that. And that magnificent lifting gives Bill his first win. Jamie Reeves shares second place with Ilkka Numisto and beats some of the best powerlifters in the business, including Sigmarsson and, incredibly, Brulwa. That was Jamie's personal best. How did he do it?
Against Jón Páll and Bill, it inspires me and lifts me to greater things. As the competition moves on, I'll get more confident. And just being in this kind of company really lifts me up.
There's a lot of stuff left. Second day is a really good day for me. Third day goes my way almost up 2 out of 3, if not 3 out of 3. So I believe I'm in good position to win, providing God's willing and I don't get hurt or run out of his power.
So, after 2 events, it's neck and neck, with Sigmarsson and Kazmaier sharing first place, Numisto third, and Britain's Jamie Reeves very much in contention in 4th place. And for day 2, the competitors travel southwest to Lake Balaton, the biggest lake in Europe, and to Tihany. Here there's a modern hotel complex which is popular with Hungarians and tourists alike. Here on the banks of Lake Balaton, naturally, water sports feature highly, and it's possible to windsurf or sail or go fishing. Messing about in boats is popular here in Hungary, but for some, catching up on the suntan is the first priority. But on day 2, the competitors are going to discover that this is no holiday. Comparing training notes or just sitting and thinking. Maybe about the £5,000 prize for winning, or offering a short prayer. The Australian Commonwealth Games shot put medalist Joe Quigley is a newcomer to this style of competition, and he's considering carefully just what he's taken on.
The third event for the DAF Trucks Trophy is the famous truck pull. Yesterday, this truck arrived here in Hungary, all the way from Holland, under its own power, a 380 horsepower engine. Today, it's down to 1 manpower. This is man against metal. 1 man pulling 6.5 tons of truck down a 20-meter course. It's an event in which technique is everything.
They've completed round 1 of the truck pull, and now they've swapped lanes in case of any difference in the surfaces. And it's Ab Wolders against Joe Quigley getting strapped into their harnesses.
Are you all right? Okay, on your marks and get set!
The technique here is to keep as low as possible to get those trucks moving. Remember, they weigh 6.5 tons, and keeping the momentum up is everything. And already Ab Wolders has pulled out a lead. Good technique, pumping those legs, and this is going to be a good time. Yes, 19 seconds, the fastest so far, and Joe Quigley, who's never tried this before, only just behind. But their legs will be on fire, you can be sure of that. And the crowd's clapping now for the man currently in overall 3rd place, Ilkka Numisto, against the tattooed form of Jean-Pierre Brulwa. Sheer body weight is a big advantage in this event. The heavier you are, the better. And Brulwa, at 22 stone, is 2 stones heavier than Numisto. And that might be decisive here. The Brulwa technique looks a little awry, but he is leading. Ilkka's trainers always on hand, but it's Brulwa forging ahead to the line. 20 seconds, and that's good. Ilkka dives in at 22. Jean-Pierre, 8 seconds faster than his first heat. That'll cheer him up. But overall, Ilkka was more consistent, only 1 second slower on his second pull. And now Bill Kazmaier, who's really psyching himself up for this one. And he's drawn against the young Hungarian Laszlo Fekete. He's 18.5 stone, and he's also never tried this event. Well, Brulois knows just what it's all about, and even Bill Kazmaier looks as if he's going to burst into tears at the prospect. He usually excels at this event.
On your mark, get set!
And there you can see the sheer exertion and aggression that's required to get the momentum going. And Kazmaier is already pulling out a lead. His technique is copybook, maximising his body weight advantage by keeping low and really pounding this 20-metre course. Laszlo's wobbling a bit, but Kazmaier's really fired up, and he is fast. 18 seconds, that's the quickest so far, but the effort is showing. And a commendable performance by Laszlo Fekete, giving away 4 stone, but certainly not disgracing himself. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, they say. And now, finally, Sigmarsson versus Reeves. Jón Páll's rope has snapped.
Too much power!
Too much power, roars Jón Páll. Well, maybe so, and the crowd is warming to this Icelandic extrovert. Now, Jamie Reeves concentrates and settles himself down again. Anxiously watched by his wife Debbie, who's herself a bodybuilder. Well, Jamie has the body weight advantage, but Sigmarsson the experience, and already his rhythm is smooth and powerful. Jamie short stabbing steps, but Sigmarsson's actually increasing the momentum. This is looking very fast indeed. He's almost running to the line, and it's 18 seconds. Jamie 21. Jamie's not impressed, obviously, but it must be a very close thing between him, Jón Páll, and Bill.
You got beaten by Sigmarsson the second time round, didn't you?
Yes, but I beat him the first time, and I think on whole, both of my times might be faster. We'll have to wait and see.
What effect does it have on you physically?
Well, I did good, so my ego is pumped up now against the bigger guys.
What about your legs?
My legs feel blowing up, but I'm not the only one. Look at all those babies crying for the legs. So. But it would go away in about half an hour.
Well, the results of that truck pull couldn't be closer. Less than 1 second separated the first 3 places. So, Sigmarsson first, Kazmaier second, and an excellent third place from Jamie Reeves. And overall, after 3 events, that Sigmarsson victory puts him back in the lead by 1 point. Britain's Jamie Reeves moves up to share joint third place with Ilkka Numisto, with the tough Dutchman Ab Wolders only 1.5 points behind. The rest are beginning to trail.
Forestry is big business in this part of Hungary. A lot of the countryside around here is wild forest, and a lot of that is oak. So for round 4, the overhead lift, they've chosen an appropriate set of ugly objects for our 8 titans to grapple with. The oak logs start at 100 kilograms. That's equivalent to 5 of our airline suitcases, and they have to end up here. I've heard of excess baggage, but this is ridiculous.
As the competitors warm up, I wonder how Bill Kazmaier, who's won this title 3 times, rates the current title holder, Jón Páll Sigmarsson.
The 2 years that he won, he beat Capes. Capes beat him 2 years. I beat Capes 3 times. I feel like he's what I'd call a paper champion. So we're going to make the point this week to become the world's strongest man again.
Bill Kazmaier has said you're a paper champion. How do you feel about that remark?
You see, I teach him a lesson last year. We had a competition between me, Kazmaier, and Jeff Capes. A competition of who was the world's strongest man of all time. And I beat him. I won 8 events out of 10, so he can eat his paper.
Well, a little bit of needle developing between the past and present champions as we join this event with Ilkka Numisto struggling with the 130-kilo log. No, it's not to be. The ever-cheerful Ilkka joins Kvigli, Brulois and Fekete, who've already gone out.
Ready for the business? Ready for the business. Prepare to lift, and in your own time, lift.
Jón Páll, 140 kilos, 308 pounds. Now, can he lock out those arms? Yes!
Down!
Hello, Kazmaier!
Hello, Kazmaier, he says. Bill's paper champion remark has obviously stung him.
And in your own time, lift.
And now Jamie Reeves at the same weight, 308 pounds, an incredible 22 stone.
Never come to me.
Power, he says. And quite right, too. He made 140 kilos of Hungarian oak look like a matchstick. Bill Kazmaier also succeeded with this weight, and now it's the turn of Wolders, the last of the remaining competitors. Pulls it onto his chest. Can he press it above his head?
Come on up, you can do it.
Jón Páll adding encouragement. Hates to be beaten, but no. 140 kilos defeats him, and now only 3 remain in this event. All the competitors started with a maximum of 6 lifts, with their choice of logs varying from 100 to 175 kilos. This is Jón Páll with his 4th lift. The weight up to 150 kilos, 23.5 stone. That's more than his own body weight. Now for the press. Yes, he's done it. And this is phenomenal lifting by Jón Páll. He seems to be walking in a strange way. Has he injured himself?
Now, leave the log here, and we know why.
Well, the trouble appears to be his left shoulder, and he seems to be in quite a lot of pain. Tactics are coming into play now as Jamie Reeves saves his strength and lets Bill Kazmaier expend his energy on the 160-kilo log, 25.5 stone. And Bill presses out very easily there. The static events suit this man, and it seems he's got plenty in reserve. And now Jón Páll at the same weight, 160 kilos. He has to try and stay with Reeves and Kazmaier, but by doing so, he could damage that left shoulder even further. And remember, there are still 4 events to come.
Kazmaier in! Kazmaier in! Kazmaier in! Kazmaier in!
Has he the strength to lock those arms out? He's struggling, and that really must have hurt his shoulder. And the crowd getting behind him now. No, it's not going for him. That's what Kazmaier thinks of him. But he's still within the 90-second allowance, and he's trying again. Alti, his trainer, yelling Kazmaier's name as a spur. But it's to no avail, and Sigmarsson goes out. But I wonder how much more he's damaged that shoulder. Only 2 remain now. First, Jamie Reeves with his 5th lift, opting for 165 kilos. That's 26 stone. Problems at all for Jamie, and there's delight in the British camp, and that is great lifting from Reeves.
Well done.
Now, as the weights are increased for Kazmaier, Jón Páll is receiving treatment. This is electric acupuncture the doctor is giving him. Meanwhile, Bill Kazmaier prepares for the 170-kilo log, and incidentally, this is only his 3rd lift. Now then, has he gone for too heavy a weight? No, he's made it, and I think that look is meant for Jón Páll. Well, Jamie has only 1 lift remaining, so what weight is he going for? He must lift more than Bill's 170 kilos.
Bigger than the mountain.
Bigger than a mountain, he says. Well, he's about to attempt 175 kilos. That's 27.5 stone.
Lift.
Come on to me. Yeah! You can do it. Take it time.
won't go. There's time to go again, but if he does, he'll be using precious reserves, which he'll need later.
Okay, put him for me, mate. Come on.
Come on.
Man, it's just a tree. Put it up.
You really want it.
Come on.
See this one?
Show us some
You know you can do it. Come on.
What you praying for?
Let's be strong enough.
Come on! Yeah!
Come on.
All the way to me.
Let's up solid. That's it. Come on.
Nope, that's it. He's had enough. But what a superb performance by Jamie Reeves. He beat all but one of the recognised powerlifters. And the victor, Bill Kazmaier, is the first to shake the hand of a new champion in the making. And the log lift gives Bill his second win of the competition. A very brave second place for Jamie Reeves. The injured Sigmarsson forced into third, and Wolders sharing a disappointing fourth place. But it was Kazmaier's event.
I really only took 4 lifts, I think it was, and my shoulders, I didn't take anything out of them. So I'm ready to go tonight.
Jón Páll, you really suffered. I felt for you there because you were in some pain with that log lift. How has that left you for this evening?
We have the forward hold coming on this evening, but as you can see, my both arms are at the same length, so I can still fight. You know, Kaz is in the front now with 1 point. We are going to change it tonight.
Fighting words by Jón Páll as he and Kaz battle it out for the lead. Jamie Reeves is now in clear third place, and Wolders and Numisto are struggling to stay with the first 3. Well, the weather conditions changed dramatically after that event. Violent storms can blow up on Lake Balaton in a matter of minutes. So the next event is taking place inside a little nearby restaurant. And on the menu, the best Hungarian salami. Not to eat, but to hold. 14 salamis weighing 56 pounds, and all they have to do is hold them out at arm's length for as long as they can.
Down a little bit.
The strain is beginning to tell on Laszlo Fekete. Mark Higgins, the reserve competitor, gets the crowd going, and remember, he's trying to hold out 56 pounds without dropping his arms. 30 seconds, and that's pretty good for a man who's never attempted this class of competition before.
Time, please. Time, please.
And we resume now with Ilkka Numisto. Remember, this is 56 pounds, the equivalent of holding out a bag of potatoes in front of you, keeping your arms absolutely straight and level with the ground. Well, he's beaten Fekete. But the pain's really biting now. Can he hold it? No. 39 seconds by Ilkka, the grandfather who's become a big favourite with this crowd, and no wonder. He's another natural showman. And now Ab Wolders. He likes this event, but he needs the points now to stay in contention with the leaders. Mark getting the crowd going again. His Dutch supporters are still with him. But he's hit the pain barrier, and he's really fighting. And he's down, 49 seconds, and that's going to take some beating. And his fans showing their appreciation for the nightclub bouncer from Rotterdam. And the watches go on for Jón Páll Sigmarsson. He doesn't like this event. He's got long arms, and the longer the arms, the greater the leverage. Shoulder must be on fire now as he hits the wall. He's desperately trying to hold it up. Can he beat Ab's time of 49 seconds? No, just 3 seconds away, but he'll be pleased. The last event of day 2 is over. And now for his arch-rival, Bill Kazmaier.
Straighten the arms. Go!
Well, referee David Webster asked him to straighten his arms there, but they don't look very straight. He's been given a special allowance by the competition doctor because Bill, like so many of the strong men, is so muscle-bound, he simply can't straighten out his arms completely. But I suspect he's taking advantage. Yes, he's brought his hands in a bit more, which means he can use his shoulders to share the strain.
Straighten the arm.
He's only allowed one warning. And he's moved his hands in yet again.
Arms down.
David Webster has stopped him.
Down. You bend your arms when you bend.
it. Well, the crowd don't like that, but Bill Kazmaier is really very upset with that decision.
You made a big mistake, Webster. A real big one.
And the tensions of the past 2 days are showing on Bill. And this is a difficult atmosphere for Jamie Reeves, but as always, his wife Debbie is there with him.
Come on, Jamie, keep going. Don't play outside.
Easy with it, Jimmy.
Come on.
Who has the strongest shoulders, Holty? It's you!
And this is another good performance by Jamie. The pain's coming on now, but this is good. Remember, Wolders' target time is 49 seconds. He's matched that, but how long can he hold on? His arms must be screaming. This is fantastic. 58 seconds, and that's a new competition record for the forward hold, and Jamie's sheer guts gives him his first win in the contest. So, confirmation on the board. Reeves beat Wolders by 9 seconds. Jón Páll Sigmarsson, despite that shoulder injury, managed 3rd place. As for Bill Kazmaier, the event was a disaster. But this was Jamie's night.
What about the pain that must come to you as you're holding those arms out straight?
Obviously you get a lot of pain, but if you want to win, you've got to go through the pain barrier to win.
How do you deal with it then? What do you think to yourself? What do you say to yourself?
Win, 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 win.
At the end of day 2, Jón Páll and Bill share the lead, with Jamie breathing right down their necks. But with 3 remaining events tomorrow, just how serious a problem is Jón Páll's injury?
I'm a warrior, I'm wounded, but it makes me more dangerous. You see, I'm a monster killer. I kill the monsters.
So as day 3 dawns, there's certainly nothing monstrous about the weather in this delightful area.
Everywhere should be famous for something, don't you think? Yorkshire for its pudding, Hamburg for its hamburgers. Well, Hungary is famous for its paprika. This is paprika growing as far as the eye can see. We're in the region of Kolocha. Hungary produces no less than 15,000 tons of the stuff every year. Half of it goes for export. What is paprika? Well, I'll tell you. That is a paprika. That is cut up, dried and ground, and it ends up looking like that on your supermarket shelf. What has all this got to do with the world's strongest man? I'll tell you. The sack race in this year's competition doesn't involve sacks filled with sand or rocks. The sacks are going to be filled with paprika. Enough paprika to create about 10,000 plates of goulash. Enough to make even Laszlo Fekete's eyes water. Look at this.
On your mark and get set.
And this is something of a pain in the neck for the competitors. They have to carry a 100-kilo sack on their shoulders down a 50-meter course, swap it for a 200-kilo sack, which they then have to drag all the way back. The first heat is between Wolders and Numisto. Momentum is again the key, keeping the sack moving to counteract the friction, and it's a killer on the legs and the back. Wolders just ahead of Numisto, but he's down, and Ilka keeps plugging away. He's dragging the equivalent of 4 bags of cement. Wolders down again, Ab's desperately tired. A despairing look for the line. Numisto is still moving, but the 90 seconds limit must be nearly up. There it goes, but I don't think he's heard it, and Ab's in agony. He must be in terrible pain with those legs.
Very good, very good. This boy is in very good now.
Ilka's legs passing the strong men's MOT. And now the next heat. Jean-Pierre Brulois against Jamie Reeves.
On your marks and get set.
And Jamie's well in the lead. They're both equally matched in body weight, both 22 stone. But Jamie's trained hard for this contest and he's supremely fit. Now for the all-important changeover. The technique here seems to favour wrapping the rope around the shoulder and using it to support the sack and pull it up to reduce the friction. But not Brulois. He's just grabbed the neck of the sack and going for it. But this could be unwise. Yes, he's stopped already. Reeves took his time, sorted himself out, and that coolness is paying dividends. Good smooth pace, but his thighs and calves will really be feeling it now. Brulois really hasn't got the measure of this at all. If he'd combined the rope with his weight, he might have fared better. Meanwhile, Jamie soldiers on. He's got about 20 seconds to complete the course, but can he keep the momentum going? Brewer says, c'est fini. Jamie's nearly there, but he's tiring fast. Mark Higgins yelling at him to get up, but the hoot is gone. They mark the sack, and that's another great effort from Jamie to stay with the leaders.
How are your legs? Burning. All the frontal thighs are burning with all the blood and the tissue which has been burnt down. Very, very sore.
And your back?
I think I lost it this morning, my bike. I don't think I've got one anymore.
Next to go, Jón Páll Sigmarsson. Throwing down a Viking challenge to Bill Kazmaier, their first head-to-head.
Sacks on the shoulders.
Jón Páll shakes his hand. The helpers load on those 100-kilo sacks, and it takes two ordinary mortals to lift them aboard.
Feet back on the line. Okay. Get ready!
David Webster sets them off, and surprisingly, it's Kazmaier in the lead. He prefers the static events, while Sigmarsson's the one who's normally so swift on his feet. But then, 100 kilos is hardly what the doctor ordered for a shoulder injury. And look at this, Bill's putting the rope through his belt. Jón Páll using the usual shoulder method. Kazmaier's away very quickly indeed. No one's used this belt technique, but it's quite legitimate. Bill's laughing now, mocking Jón Páll, but laughs on the other cheek, literally, as Jón Páll steadily comes back at him, and Kazmaier's suddenly all over the place. Can Jón Páll overtake him? He's still fighting back, but I don't think so. Kazmaier still has time to cross that line. Yes, he's there, the only one to make it, and that's a great achievement. The hooter goes. And Jón Páll is walking like a drunk. His legs must be like jelly. And Bill Kazmaier having to take his oxygen. How are the mighty refreshed?
He beat you, Jón Páll. How do you feel about that?
You know, it is always hard to be beaten, but if a better man beats you in an event like this, you know, you have to take it. You have to try harder next time. So will I do.
No complaints?
No. Why should I complain? I just lost. I will win next time.
So, Bill Kazmaier overcoming the problems of last night and stamping his mark again with his third win. Sigmarsson was third, and Jamie Reeves beaten into fourth place by less than 1 inch. And overall, the lead is back with Kazmaier. Sigmarsson, 1 point adrift. Wolders is fourth, but Jamie Reeves, giving it everything he's got, is still challenging the leaders.
2 events to go, and the contest is still hanging in the balance. This next event is the one which may decide it. It's borrowed from the Highland Games, and it's called the weight over the bar. The weight in question weighs 56 pounds, 25 kilos. That's the same as a bag of potatoes, and quite a lot more than our standard suitcase. And what the athletes have to do with one hand is to throw this weight over the bar, which is 12 feet high, just to start with. It'll land in the water and somebody will fish it out. Baggage handlers will enjoy this one.
Well, the Highlands of Scotland are a far cry from Hungary, but Laszlo's getting the benefit of Bill's experience with a demonstration of the required technique. And as another expert, Wolders very casually limbers up. I wonder if Bill is looking forward to this one.
This is usually my event, and actually I'm the only 18-footer in the group. Problem is, you've got boats flying around in the water with flags on them. It's very disorienting. The whole event has changed because it's not on land. It's the first 56 ever thrown on water.
And we join the event with Jón Páll Sigmarsson, who's brought some Hungarian earth to the end of the pier, and he's using it in preference to the usual chalk. There are 5 competitors left, and the height on the bar, 4.6 meters, 15 feet 1 inch.
In your own time, throw.
He's using his left hand. Now, this is interesting because I'd have thought that that would aggravate the shoulder problem. It's well over.
Power from the earth. Good throw.
Power from the earth, he says, and this Icelander loves an audience.
Bill Kazmaier. Bill Kazmaier's third attempt, 4.60 meters.
Well, maybe Bill's earlier fears about the water were well-founded because he's in trouble. He's already attempted this height twice before, and this is his last chance. If he fails, he's out.
No throw.
He had the height, but not the trajectory. And this is a major setback for the American. He really needed to win this one to stay with Sigmarsson.
In your own time, throw.
And now Ilkka Numisto at the same height, 4.6 meters. No, it's not there.
No throw.
That was his last attempt, but nothing seems to worry this genial man. He's a great ambassador to the sport. The bar has been raised to 4.9 meters, 16 feet, and this is Ab Wolders. His Dutch crowd of supporters have taken to the water for a better view of their hero. And here he goes with his second attempt.
Good throw. Come on!
And Jón Páll joining in with the Ab Wolders Appreciation Society. The weight is retrieved from Lake Balaton in preparation for Jamie Reeves.
Yeah! Jamie Reeves, second attempt, 4.90. In your own time, throw.
Woo! Only 3 competitors left in, but Jamie needs every point he can get.
Yes! Yes!
It's scraped over, but it all counts, and Jamie's still in there pitching.
Jón Páll Sigmarsson, second attempt with 4.90.
Same height for Jón Páll, and a brisk reminder there from his trainer.
In your own time, throw.
Must get it.
Oh. Now, so far in this event, that shoulder hasn't bothered him. Oh, and it's miles over again.
Who is the champion? Who is the champion?
And Jón Páll reminding Kaz of that earlier paper champion remark.
Raise the bar, please, to 5 meters, 0.05.
15 feet 7 inches. And this is Ab with his third and last attempt.
Come on!
Ab Wolders, in your own time, throw.
Watch him.
No, he's got that all wrong, and that means Ab's out. Yes, he knows what he should have done, but it's too late now, and he looks bitterly disappointed. But now only Jón Páll and Jamie remain.
Jamie Reeves, third and final attempt at this hike. In your own time, throw.
And Jamie also must succeed to stay in. No, so near and yet so far. But what a great fight he put up. And they'll be proud of him back at the mine.
Great warrior, Jamie Reeves.
Jón Páll paying a generous tribute to young Jamie.
Jón Páll Sigmarsson's first attempt at 5.05 meters.
I've done it in the snow, I've done it in the rain, and I will do it now.
Jón Páll Sigmarsson, in your own time, throw.
Do you want to see it? See it then.
To Sigmarsson and audiences, food and drink.
Drink up!
It's well over.
Icelandic Viking power!
And that Viking power has given him the maximum 8 points. Reeves achieves another good second place and Wolders third. But it was a nightmare event for Bill Kazmaier. And I'm curious to know again, what went wrong?
The problem with the sausage last night was a major problem, which affected me quite a great deal. Sleep and all that and the like was really difficult. I was plenty fired up this morning, obviously, and won the stack. But then there was a bit of a disorientation, and it did affect me when I walked out onto the pier. So somewhere in the middle there, it all manifested itself in my problem throwing the 56.
Well, Kazmaier's problem with the 56 have resulted in a 4-point lead for Sigmarsson, and with only the final event remaining, the question is, can Britain's Jamie Reeves pip Kazmaier for second place?
And they've kept the nastiest event till last in this competition to find the world's strongest man. It's time for the McGlashan stones. They are beastly. This is just one of 5 stones, varying in weight from 95 kilograms to 140 kilograms. That's equivalent to 7 suitcases. They have to be carried, very awkward things to carry. They have to be carried and lifted onto the barrels. There's quite an interesting story behind these McGlashan stones. They come from Scotland, and so does the referee, David Webster. David, what is the story behind these stones?
In the old days in Scotland, young men, when coming to manhood, would try to lift the manhood stones. They would have to lift them to a wall at waist height. And if they could do that, and had proved they had come to manhood, they were allowed to wear an eagle's feather in their bonnet. And that's probably the origination of the saying, a feather in your cap.
So, as the late afternoon shadows lengthen over Tihany, the last preparations are made for this man-killer of an event. A crucial event for Jamie Reeves.
You've got to beat Kazmaier, haven't you? There's half a point in it.
Yes, I must beat him on the stones for 2nd place.
Can you do it?
Well, I've never done the stones before. I've never seen these 5, but yeah, I think I can.
And that's the sort of spirit Jamie has shown all the way through this contest. And now it's Ilka Numisto to take on the McGlashans. And his trainer, by the look of it.
Wait, on your marks and get set.
And Ilka's away with the 95-kilo stone. 110 kilos next. Now the third, 120 kilos, 265 pounds. And this is looking very good by Numisto. He's very agile on his feet. Now for the 4th McGlashan, 130 kilos, using the thighs to get it onto the barrel. Now the last heave, and yes! Now the final stone. Only a handful of men have lifted this one. It weighs 140 kilos. Ilka will give it everything he's got, just as he has all through this contest. Can he get it on top? He's nearly there. No. If he wants to go on, he's still got time in hand. Nope, that's it. And Ilka retires. A great effort by him. And his trainer's rightly proud of him. Next to go on the McGlashans, Jamie Reeves.
Jamie Reeves. On your marks and get set.
Jamie must play this carefully. He knows that in the past, Bill Kazmaier has lifted that 5th stone, but he's quicker on his feet than Bill, so he must use his speed and hope that somehow he too can cope with that massive 5th stone. He's struggling with the 3rd one. He's made it. And now for 130 kilos of granite. Using the thighs well, everything's straining now. Yes, it's there. Now can he possibly conquer that 5th stone? No one succeeded yet. This will be phenomenal if he can do it.
Lean backward.
No, I don't think he can make it. No, he's had enough. But Jón Páll's telling him he's still got time, and he's urging him to have another go. But although he's slower than Numisto, Jamie's very wisely calling it a day. And we pick it up now with Bill Kazmaier attempting the 3rd stone. Bill's very experienced on these stones. Only he and Jón Páll have ever lifted the 5th one. But he's taking his time, conserving all his last reserves of strength for that final stone.
Yeah! All the way through, you can do it!
And he's made the 4th one. And now 140 kilos separate him from the lead. and he's looking good. A final heave, and it's there. And that's a great achievement by the American. He's had his share of problems over the past 3 days, but there's a kind of battered dignity about this man, which the others respect, and they all join in to celebrate his success. Now, the last competitor, Jón Páll Sigmarsson.
On your marks and get set.
And he's set off like a sprinter. He literally threw that one onto the barrel. Now the third one. Yes, and the sheer athleticism of this man is quite staggering. And now just that fifth stone. It's there. What an absolutely fantastic performance. And surely now there can be no doubt whatever that Jón Páll Sigmarsson richly deserves the title of the world's strongest man. A little slalom now from the champion. He's really fired up, and all the world's a stage for this man. The final overall result shows that Jón Páll has beaten Kazmaier by 5 points. Jamie Reeves, in his first international competition, achieves an excellent third place, and the popular Wolders takes fourth.
I don't know how you did them so quickly. That was astonishing.
I am maybe the fastest strongman in the world, but I think Bill is the strongest on his feet.
Bill, you came back full of confidence, full of energy. You wanted to come back and be the world's strongest man. You've been beaten. How do you feel?
Well, I was beaten today, and I've won before against Jón Páll, and I'll win again, and he'll win again. And it's the type of war that goes on and on and on until one of us drops.
You know, let's talk about Bill, you know. For me, when I started lifting weights, he was a god, something you could not touch. But I gave him a little touch now.
We'll meet again, man.
Meet again.
And so, to the winner, the spoils. Mr. Chris Thornycroft-Smith, the marketing director of DAF Trucks, presents the trophy to Jón Páll Sigmarsson, the world's strongest man.